Today's episode is brought to you in IMAX 70 millimeter.
Ooh.
Which, we're told, is twice as much as 35 millimeter. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Which we're also told is equivalent to 6K resolution. All right.
Okay, nice.
And if you do the math, that is 6 times 1080p resolution, okay?
Oh my God.
Quality, unprecedented.
Detail. Yeah.
But the reality is, I'm still going to watch this on my Samsung Smart Fridge, as the Lord and Denis Villeneuve intended.
Yeah, that 3-inch by 5-inch screen looks great. Why else do you buy a Samsung Smart Fridge other than to move all of your media needs to it?
You just put everything on a Plex server, stream it to your Samsung Smart Fridge, and then your drinks and your content all in one location.
Yeah.
Convenience is king.
Remember that time you were watching a movie, you had to get up to go get your snacks?
Oh I don't, because I have a Samsung Smart Fridge.
I was going to say, you know the right way. These other fucking losers out here moving from their screen to their food. Ugh.
Wow.
Could never.
I could never.
Welcome to Gom Jabbar, your guide to the iconic world of Dune. We'll be exploring the themes, philosophies, and characters found in the sandy depths of this vast universe, from Frank Herbert's groundbreaking novels to the adaptations on film and TV. My name is Leo.
And my name's Abu.
And today on the show, folks, it's our final deep dive episode of the year.
Oh, that's right.
Wild.
Another year in the books.
Insane. 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It has. So what we wanted to do today, we wanted to bring you a final Distrans of the year, looking at the state of Dune, all of the things going on in the world of Dune.
That's right.
As we prepare ourselves to dive headfirst into 2024 like a big old man of the desert, diving into those dunes, gobbling up those humans. That's our plan. That's our goal. That's our motto.
That's right. That's our goal. So before we get into our final D-Strands of the year, a quick spoiler warning and some quick housekeeping up top. Today's episode will contain light spoilers for the first book and Denis Villeneuve's film, because we're going to talk film news. We're going to talk about some things from the first book. So just to be absolutely safe, we recommend you've at least read the first book and watch Villeneuve's film.
Indeed. And as always, we wanted to give a huge shout out to our Kwisatz Haderach level patron, Case Aiken, for another year of just incredible, immeasurable generosity.
Yeah. No weird thank you today. We just wanted to be genuine for a hot second for one time this year, Case.
Weird.
Your generosity, your support has been incredible all throughout the year, and we couldn't make this show without your support, and of course without the support of all of our patrons.
Right.
That is the main engine that drives this show, and every single person who has signed up for our Patreon this year helps make this show possible. So we genuinely thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, we don't take it for granted, and it's the sort of support that allows us to kind of confidently continue to invest as much as of ourselves as we can in this show.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you a million times. Thank you. Well, the game plan for today's episode, let's talk about it. It's going to be a quick one. It's going to be light and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we're going to cover the news and updates surrounding the upcoming film. Ever fucking heard of it? Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve. And we're going to talk about the TV show. Yay. And then the games and the books.
Right.
Whoa. And then as we wrap up, we'll share some final words before we end this episode and another year of Dune coverage.
That's right. And before we dive into today's episode, let's take a quick breather, but don't go anywhere, folks. As always, we will be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your break. Let's start off. Let's talk about Dune Part 2, because although we're in clearly the darkest timeline, we're waiting fucking forever for this movie.
That's right.
The release date has actually moved up.
Hello.
Whoa! Good news. Finally, a couple of weeks. So, it's just 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we'll take it happily. The new date for Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve is March 1st, 2024.
Hell yeah. Okay.
It's going to be great. And I think as of this episode coming out, that means we have only 84 days.
Wow.
Until the movie comes out. Feels like far away.
Right. When you put it that way.
Yeah. Double digits, dude.
84.
That's crazy.
That's so close. That's so close. And look, time flies, and it'll be here before we know it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for my tater tots, and I can't wait for my nachos. As an aside, what's your go-to movie snack? Are you a nachos person or just popcorn?
I do unbuttered popcorn and red vines.
Okay.
Because I like to bite off the ends of the red vine and you make a straw out of it.
Yeah.
And then it gets really inedible, like really hard. And then I feel like I'm an old pilgrim gnawing on some beef jerky that I've aged for 6 months because that was the last time I saw a cow. You know?
Wow, your movie-going adventures are much more intense than mine are.
We're roughing it.
I'm just like, my cozy nachos and my cozy drink and my cozy, I bring a little fucking blanket and I'm like, all right, I'm settled in.
Yeah, I bring a hunting knife, fur-lined boots for my inedible red vine snack.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll be bringing 2 different types of energy to the theater on March 1st, 2024, when we go see Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve. I cannot wait.
Indeed.
Now, speaking of the film, if you didn't know, on Sunday, December 3rd at Brazil's CCXP2023, Denis Villeneuve showed the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Whoa, cool.
Exclusively to people who went to that convention. This, of course, generated a bunch of hype all across the Dune fandom, across Dune Twitter, on Reddit. And we do want to touch on it briefly, but that having been said, we are not going to talk about what is being said out there about these first 10 minutes, because we believe there is some magic to seeing it for the first time yourself and enjoying it on March 1st, as intended, on your Samsung Smart Fridge TV.
Yeah.
So we are going to skip the sort of like beat-by-beat summary that people have talked about out there.
Right.
If you simply go search for it, I can guarantee you'll find it. People are explaining what's in those first 10 minutes of the film.
Right. Like, all in all, Denis, as part of this reveal of this 10 minutes and then also some later scenes that are in the movie, he confirmed that attendees of CCXP 2023 were the first outside of the studio to see this footage at all.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
Wow.
And again, we're not talking specifics. I will say I kind of very intentionally lightly read it with the intention of forgetting everything that I read.
Yeah.
Mostly keeping an eye out for, like, is there anything that's crazy and paradigm shifting that's going to cause me to worry or be extra hyped? And there wasn't.
There wasn't.
It seems great. And everyone seems very excited. And I think we are just every shade of excited ourselves.
Absolutely.
To see it and to see these scenes and to see everything. And then there was, following the reveal, I think it was following, there was a panel with the young stars, with Chalamet, with Zendaya, with Florence, with Austin Butler. So it's clear that following, I think November 9th was when the SAG-AFTRA strike officially ended. It's clear that the studio is like full throttle pushing to get the hype building again.
Yeah.
Look at all the hot young people in our movie. Good Lord, they're all so hot.
Right. Look, we lined them up for you.
We literally lined them up. Did you see someone like threw a shrimp or something at them?
Yeah. Somebody threw something
hit
at
Irulan. Hit Florence Pugh.
Yeah. I mean, people are fucking crazy out there. It's ridiculous. You went to this convention to what? Be ratchet and throw shrimp around?
Yeah.
Like, chill the fuck out.
Who does that? Yeah, for real, not worth anything in the world. Don't fucking harass people. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, this is a thing artists deal with all the time, right? On stage, like Taylor Swift, like people are throwing fucking water bottles at them.
It's insane. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I will say the Dune lore nerd in me was like, this is better than in one of those cut chapters from Dune when someone throws a hunter seeker at one of the characters. And I was like, it is weird how similar a shrimp is to a small bug assassin robot. Just two like unfortunate little like neurons clicked in my head, and I was like,
right.
Oh,
there was like a tiny bit of electricity between those neurons, and you were like, ooh.
there's a lore thing here. It's like, no, poor Florence. It sucks.
Yeah, don't be assholes, people. All right, another quick bit of Dune Part 2 news. We're going to stay on topic for now.
Yeah.
It's been revealed that Dune Part 2 will be released in IMAX 70mm for you film buffs out there.
Right.
I think Oppenheimer is being credited with sort of starting this trend. Christopher Nolan released his film in IMAX 70mm, and a lot of people went and saw it. And so now other films are trying to emulate a little bit of this as well.
Yeah. I'm not a film buff. I know some of the stuff, but very little of the camera technology and the types of film. It's all very complicated too, because literally it's like 70mm is actually 65mm, and then 5mm is added for audio and all that shit. Like, I got down some weird rabbit holes trying to understand what this meant. Basically, scienceandmediamuseum.org.uk
Love it.
came in clutch with a pretty solid explanation. They said with 70mm recording, when you record on 70mm film, you get a bigger, brighter, and more detailed and vivid picture. And then they shared, and this is really what helped me kind of contextualize what we're talking about. While 35mm is approximately equivalent to something like a digital 5K or 6K resolution, right? Very crispy, very nice, looks great.
Yeah.
70mm film is closer to 16 or 18K resolution.
There you go.
Which is fucking crazy. How good something looks is a measurement of how big the screen is compared to the resolution of the media, right? So you need that higher resolution on a giant screen for it to look immersive. And sure enough, I saw Oppenheimer in one of the only 30 theaters in the world that has the 70mm thing, right?
Right. And actually, that's a great point. This is so high resolution and requires such specific types of projectors and screens and technology to portray it correctly that there are actually only 30 theaters in the entire world that can show true IMAX 70mm films. And 19 of those are in the States. A large number of those 19 are in California, understandably.
Yeah.
And the one in New York is the AMC Lincoln Square 13 theater. So personally, that's where I'm going to be trying to snag a ticket to go see this in IMAX 70mm.
100%. And that's where I saw Oppenheimer the day before it left IMAX. And
nice.
I'll say I settled for some less than ideal seats. I was in like the third row. But I'm also happy to report if you are going to the AMC Lincoln 13 Center or most of these massive, massive screen theaters, the closest seats are still like 20 feet from the screen because of the way that the screen is set up in the stadium seating. Yeah. So the third row was actually fine. It was a little closer than I wanted, but was actually a pretty good viewing experience. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So for any of you who want to see it in all of its 70mm glory, make sure to look up those theaters that have that proper full IMAX screen. And then of course there's going to be like a standard screen experience, which is also probably going to be fucking awesome. So totally. No shame if you're watching on your Samsung smart fridge.
Right. And the minute they announce that Dune Part 2 will be screened at the Sphere in Las Vegas, I'm booking a flight to Las Vegas.
My God.
And I'm going to go see it on that fucking globe screen thing, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. You get to watch one field of vision of the movie at a time. You can't even see the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And as an aside, very quickly, I know a lot of our patrons in Discord have been talking about group meetups when the film comes out to go see it together.
Yeah.
I think you and I are sort of loosely planning to do that. We haven't locked down any dates and details yet, but we will hopefully be planning some sort of New York meetup for Gamjabar listeners and Dune fans to come and see the film with us. So keep an eye out for that as well on our Patreon.
Our first couple of days of the movie being out are going to be crazy.
Yeah, we're going to be busy.
See the movie, record, and all that. But like once the sort of craze dies down, scheduling a viewing and then like going to a pub after and just like hanging out would be so
absolutely.
much fun.
That would be a ton of fun. TBD on those plans, but we're hoping to do that.
Stay tuned in the Discord. We got that meetup channel. Very useful. Now, in kind of more broadly about the cast of Part 2 and, of course, Part 1, the SAG strike was resolved on November 9th.
Right.
So we are back to seeing some press stuff from these actors.
That's right.
And specifically, delighted to have gotten a couple more SNL hostings.
Yeah.
Both Timothée Chalamet and Jason Momoa hosted on November 11th and 18th, respectively. This is what I'm talking about. 2 days after the SAG strike, they're like, fucking get him out there.
Book him. Somebody call us. You know,
Insane.
the PR person has like 2 phones on each ear. Like, yeah. Okay, November 11th, November
Also
18th.
on a FaceTime. He's also like Morse coding with his feet, you know, just trying his best.
Yeah. They're out here promoting this movie.
They are. And I got to say, I haven't seen Jason Momoa's episode yet, but I've seen some sketches, mostly because I would see clips on TikTok and then I would go to YouTube to watch the full things.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet as the Troye Sivan sleep demon, and then Timothée Chalamet as the despondent businessman about to jump off the building who is like, let me play you my music, and then plays the music and everyone's like, it's croaky and weird. Maybe we should just leave. No one saw us try to stop him, right?
Yeah.
So excellent. Made me chuckle. Really wonderful to see these actors kind of having fun and everything.
Yeah, I also only watched the Timothée Chalamet episode. I didn't watch the Jason Momoa one yet. And I enjoyed it. I mean, it's SNL, so it's hit and miss. Some of the sketches are like super bland and you're just zoning out. But then I agree, the Troye Sivan Sleep Demon one was really funny. And it's always fun to see Timmy be silly.
Yeah, totally.
I will say, related to Dune, he did crack a joke about Dune Part 2's length in his opening monologue.
Oh, wow.
He was making a joke about like, oh, movies are long, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget to take a bathroom break before my next 2 films, Willy Wonka and Dune Part 2. So take that as you will. Obviously not a confirmation of any sorts of the film's length, but there was a Dune joke in his monologue, and that was appreciated.
Of course, yeah. And then very quickly, on the topic of Dune Part 1, in case you haven't watched it yet, what are you doing? Why do you listen to us and you haven't watched the movie yet? It is now available for streaming on Netflix, in addition to Max, so it's very accessible. It's on the major streaming platforms.
Right.
And a reminder that we actually did a watch-along commentary episode, which is now easier to enjoy because, naturally, the video is much easier to find. So if you're going to rewatch the film leading up to Part 2 and you haven't checked it out already, it was very fun to record, and then it was nice to see people say it was fun to have us basically just talking through the movie, making stupid jokes or, you know, calling out the umbrella and spitting on the desk and those leather gloves around my throat. I don't know why I keep thinking about that, but there it is.
Duke Leto.
Oh, Duke Leto.
Yeah, so definitely watch Dune Part 1 wherever you can stream it or get it on Blu-ray. I certainly will be watching the first movie a couple of times before Dune Part 2.
Yeah, same.
Just in preparation, just for the hype, just for the fun of it. Okay, so let's take a quick breather here now that we have blasted through some news about the upcoming Denis Villeneuve blockbuster. But don't go anywhere, because after a quick break, we're going to talk about this very troubled Dune Sisterhood HBO TV show.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about some of the Dune video game and book news as well.
Right.
So stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your break. Yeah. Let's talk about Dune Sisterhood, formerly known as
the
TV show, formerly known as. Yeah, touching really briefly on the fraught development of this show. Production finally realized their mistake, folks. They fixed it all. They fixed everything, top to bottom.
Oh yeah,
the squeaky wheel, well oiled now. Yeah,
talk to me.
They realized all of our trepidation, all of our misgivings were based on the title. Dune Sisterhood. Boo, boring. So they've renamed the show Dune Prophecy.
Okay.
Aren't you immediately excited to see it now?
Yes. Yes, my hype is through the proverbial roof.
I can't contain my excitement. I'm just bouncing off the... Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's the latest news about this, like, very troubled show. We've talked in previous Distrans episodes about, like, director changes, actors leaving, schedules being a mess. The strike hasn't necessarily affected this production because a lot of the actors are UK-based equity actors, so a strike based in the US didn't really halt this production.
Yeah.
But, like, whatever, this production has been stop and go for years now because of creative differences and showrunners leaving and going, directors leaving and going. So who knows what's going to happen? We are told that the show is still slated for a fall 2024 release.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm no professional filmmaker. I'm no TV executive. I don't know how these things work, but feels a little ambitious to me to be like, yeah, we'll have this whole thing done in a year.
Yeah, that feels fast. It feels fast for something that's going to be high quality. I can imagine them putting something out that's like slapped together. Sure. But something that's like crafted with that sort of like excellent attention to detail, I feel like that's fast. So
yeah.
I will say I'm really hoping the shift of the name, you know, there was Dune Sisterhood is one of Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson's books, and it's not great. It's not egregious, but it's not great. It's not a good book. So I was kind of hopeful that shifting it away from that maybe means that whatever new director they have and whatever the production team is, they've decided to take some more liberties and like make it a little bit more its own thing, which could be a good thing if the source material was already not that great. So I was a little bit hopeful for that, but I think although #more Dune is good Dune, it's kind of hard to get excited about this.
I will take more Dune, but we'll see if this is good Dune. You know, that's kind of where I'm falling at the moment. Of course, I'll watch it, but we'll see.
Right.
At this point, I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I am just cautious. But we'll have to see. Perhaps fall 2024. My gut tells me it's going to be a 2025 thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from the Dune Prophecy show. I almost said Dune Sisterhood out of habit. Let's move on from the HBO show and talk about the world of Dune video games, because there are a couple of news tidbits to cover here. To begin with, the 4X strategy game Dune Spice Wars that we have talked about on this podcast before, and we actually spoke with Shiro Games, the developers themselves, so go check out that episode.
Yeah.
That game is now out on Xbox and is available on Game Pass. So if you are a Game Pass subscriber like myself, you can just go and download this immediately and play it, which is very neat. I did go and download and play it a little bit on my Xbox, and the game translates quite well to the controller. I think they did a decent job with that. I didn't feel annoyed trying to play just a match of it.
Yeah.
Although I will say, and this is just a preference thing, but I do love a good strategy game. I mostly love them on my computer with a mouse and keyboard, just because a lot of strategy games can evolve into a lot of clicking, dragging, moving around, hitting your hotkeys on your keyboard. And with a controller, that becomes a little slower and a little clunkier. Still doable, still enjoyable, but I personally prefer things to be a little faster paced on my PC. So whenever I play something like Dune Spice Wars or Stellaris or Crusader Kings, any of those big strategy games, I prefer to do it on a computer. But for folks who want to check out this game and have an Xbox and have Game Pass, you can now do so.
Yeah, very exciting. And again, we've both enjoyed it, varying degrees. I went back and played a little bit. I got my ass handed to me multiple times. Yeah. It's really fucking hard. And hard sometimes to know kind of how effectively you are doing things until it's too late. And you're like, Yes,
I think they have increased some of the challenge. And the updates are still rolling out. They did a big overhaul of how the lance rod works just a week ago, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So the game is evolving as well. So they're continuing to support it and update it, which is exciting to see.
That's good. I mean, we saw them do their 1.0 release, which is sometimes like a cool, now we can make money on it and we're going to go off and do something else. Yeah.
We're
so
done.
To see them still engaged with it and still improving, it's really, really wonderful. And continues to affirm what I think we discovered in talking to them. Like they have some real passion for Dune and passion for making a good game as part of this. It's not just a movie tie-in cash grab. It's really cool.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. We recommend checking it out for sure.
And then a little bit of news on Dune Awakening.
Hello.
Hey, MMORPG. If you signed up to be like a beta tester, open beta tester, you probably got this email. This was sent out on some point. It was November 14th that they sent out an email to people who had signed up.
Yeah.
And the email basically had you go through an additional form, just explaining a little bit of your experience as a gamer, like what you typically play, how often you play, your age, demographic, things like that.
Right.
They are going to be doing a closed beta of their MMORPG under strict NDA, so we shouldn't expect to see anything talked about regarding this beta.
Right.
Clearly just trying to get a sense of player feedback and then implement that feedback before they're subject to like ratings and reviews. Because again, like it is kind of a shitty world that you live in where you show someone early footage of your game and people go, this is terrible forever. And you're like, fuck off. Like it's not done yet.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So anyway, if you are interested in applying to their closed beta, I think it's still open. I'm not 100% sure. Check out their website. It's the Funcom's Dune Awakening website. If you look for it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
So we're not going to hear anything probably about like what that looks like, but of course, I think we're all in our community and in our amongst us, we're all hoping quietly that we get selected. Could be fun. Could be cool.
It could be fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that game as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to talk about toys next.
Yeah.
Because there is a 1,300 plus piece Lego Ornithopter that is nearly out in the world. Leo.
Yeah. It's hot.
You
Looks
can pre-order
so good.
it now, and it ships February 2024, and it looks so fucking good. You can look at pictures of it on Lego's website, where you can also pre-order it for a lot of money. But it looks spectacular. I'm not a Lego person. I didn't grow up with Legos and stuff.
Yeah.
But even I am looking at this thing being like, I can do it. I can build this.
Yeah.
I want to build this, and then I want to put it in my office. You know, like it's beautiful.
So here's the thing. I played with Lego, but I never did like the big sets. I have a couple of friends who've done the like Harry Potter castle set and like things like that. And what they did was they would like buy it used from like eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
They would assemble it, enjoy having it assembled for a little bit, and then disassemble it, put it back in its baggies, and then resell it for like $30 less. And they just did that, and it was great.
Amazing. Wow.
Because also like as a couple activity, it's kind of fun to like put it together and it's building and it's like you're working with your hands, you're getting away from screens for a bit, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking cool. I've always liked that as an idea. So to have a Dune themed ornithopter,
yes,
I am so fucking stoked. And we're still figuring some stuff out, but I mean, I'll say we got an email from Lego pretty recently. So there might be an episode down the road.
Yep.
About the ornithopter. We'll see.
We'll see.
TBD.
Yeah.
TBD.
Just a little tease.
Just a little tease. I mean, again, end of the year, a little treat for you listening.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do also want to call out that the Lego Ornithopter set, I believe, comes with little like people Legos of like Paul Atreides and whatever. Yeah. And
the Baron.
The Baron. The Baron Lego is like so tall. It's like they captured the moment from the first movie where he's floating up, where he's like, my Arrakis, my dude. Like, they took that moment with the long ass robe that he has, and they turned it into the most comical Lego piece of like this tall Baron.
Yeah, he's permanently really like 17 feet tall.
Yeah. Check that out on the Lego website because it's hilarious. I looked at it and burst out laughing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, very, very exciting to see, and stay tuned. We might have some more content on the Lego Ornithopter soon.
It's true. At the very least, when I'm putting mine together, I'll take pictures and talk about it on Discord and Patreon and stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, one more thing we want to talk about today, and this is news in the book world. In October, the Folio Society announced and released their collector's edition of Dune Messiah. They already have a collector's edition of Dune, by the way, so it seems like they're working through the series.
Yeah.
Dune Messiah is now out, and it is absolutely stunning. Like, I stopped in my tracks when I saw this and fell down a rabbit hole on the Folio Society website because they've done a lot of other books. Like their whole shtick is they work with incredible artists and they create these beautiful, frankly,
like
art pieces. Like it's the books. You can like technically read it, but there's this gorgeous art all throughout. The covers are custom made. It's beautiful. It is truly a collector's item, and it's priced as a collector's item as well. It's a whopping $110 US.
Yep.
For this Folio Society copy of Dune Messiah. But again, this is not one you're picking up to read in bed and throw in your bag on the subway. This is one that's going to go on your bookshelf and look beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll also say, I also went down a rabbit hole of like looking at their other books and like other things they have to offer.
Yeah.
The like $1,000 Lord of the Rings books. I want it. And like it's hot. It's hot. It is hot. But I was like kind of counting my blessings that I care mostly about Dune, and the two Dune books together are like, if you bought them together, it would be around like 200, 250, something like that. Mm-hmm. At least it's not 1,000, you know?
Yeah. I mean, by the time we get to Chapter House, won't it add up to 1,000?
Ooh, yeah. You know?
But if, you spread that out, it's like a payment plan, You're just, over 6 years, you're like, it's a payment plan for the books. You're fine. Yeah. It's good.
Can I get interest-free financing on my collectible purchasing?
Right.
I need to take out a mortgage just to fucking buy all of the Dune collectibles I want to own.
Yeah, true. Totally. Yeah, so we highly recommend you check out the Folio Society. They have some beautiful work on there, even if you're not interested in the Dune Messiah copy. Like we said, beautiful Lord of the Rings and a lot of other books that they're genuine works of art, and they're collector's items, and I want them all. They're beautiful.
Yeah, same. And with that, that's our episode.
Wow.
And that's our year. I mean, there is one more book club episode, but regarding deep dives, regarding these kind of single topic episodes, that's 2023.
We're wrapped up for the year. And look, before we let you go, we do want to wish everyone out there a safe, relaxing, rejuvenating holiday season and end of year.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time is full of all of the things that you love and none of the things that you hate.
Yeah.
And we hope that you spend it with loved ones and family and take the time to really unwind and enjoy. We certainly will.
Indeed. And, if you're celebrating Hanukkah, that's coming up, if you're celebrating Christmas, if you're celebrating Kwanzaa toward the end of the month, or if you're just kind of enjoying the... I also say like, oh, it's cold outside and you're enjoying like a cup of hot cocoa, and that's excluding Southern Hemisphere friends who are like, finally, it's fucking summer. And it's like,
that's true.
It's still so hard for me to wrap my head around that. But regardless, I think I was raised Buddhist, and I think you kind of can't escape the sort of holiday branding of this time of year. And so within that sort of inevitable wrapping, I hope you have a really wonderful couple of months.
Absolutely. And look, if you're a longtime listener, we are so grateful that you have chosen to spend another year with us. Again, like we said, year 3. It feels wild to say that, but we've been at this for 3 years now. And we are so grateful that you have been with us on this journey. If you're a new listener who just hopped on the bandwagon, welcome. Yeah. We're so excited that you're here. We hoped you packed your Frem kit because we promise this is going to be a long and wild journey. We're only getting started. Dune has grabbed the zeitgeist and pop culture by the balls, and it's squeezing.
Squeeze.
So it's never been a better time to be a Dune fan. We welcome you. We're excited you're here, and we can't wait for what's to come.
We also, I said it at the top, but like we really don't take any of it for granted. This is the time of like Spotify Wrapped and stuff like that, and we've seen some people share pictures of like Gom Jabbar is their number one podcast that they listen to.
Yeah, which still feels
staggering.
That still feels unreal. Like I'm just like, this can't be real.
I mean, I remember you and I talking about like just on Patreon having like 20 patrons. We're like,
yeah. We were like, high five, let's go.
Let's go. Maybe one day we'll have 50. Like it's, we do it because we love it. And we try to make it as high quality as possible. And it's all for the love of Dune. It's all for the love of the fandom. And it's the fact that it's heard by people and appreciated means the world. So thank you, everybody. And yeah, thank you for listening. I mean, I like that in the script here, you say, see y'all in the future, and you put the apostrophe in the wrong place. So it's ya and then apostrophe LL, which just makes me wonder, what is the apostrophe standing for you?
Wow, Google Docs even tried to correct me with the little squiggly line.
And you went, no,
and I
right.
went, no, I'm committing. I'm committing to this apostrophe. Fuck you, Google Docs.
Well, hey, we will see y'all in 2024.
See y'all in 2024, y'all. Well, friends, there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the recording. But this podcast is always one step beyond logic, so help spread the word of Muad'Dib and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And be sure to check out the other shows on the Lore Party Podcast Network on loreparty.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at lore_party. We're also on TikTok at Gamjabar Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and remember, whoever controls the podcast controls the universe. We'll see you on the Golden Path.